We just bought a $97,000 Chevy Silverado RST EV for $31,000 off of MSRP. But it didn't come easy. But two trucks got sold out from under us, and the dealership stopped negotiations halfway through our deal. And we almost came home halfway through our 3.5 hour drive. In this video, I'm going to show you all the negotiation tactics that I used to try to get this truck and to get our prices low. Hopefully you can use them in your next vehicle purchase. The first thing to understand about EV trucks right now is the MSRP is intimidating. So instead of shopping brand new inventory, we decided to start searching for slightly used vehicles like 2024s and 2025 models. Just doing that saved tens of thousands of dollars immediately. I searched on cars.com, Carvana, Car Gurus, and honestly, even just a simple Google search. That's how we found this truck. In your next step, get pre-approved. We used a credit union and we got a 5.5%. The dealerships are offering a 9 to 10% APR. It is way too high in my opinion. That alone will save you thousands. I also want to add though, this is a deal because our truck is used. If you got a 2025 with a low enough miles, you can get a new interest rate for that, and some companies will give you up to a 1.9% APR, which is obviously a lot better. But just getting it from 9 or 10% down to a 5.5%, that's going to save you thousands over the life of the loan. Because the dealership was 3.5 hours away, my goal was simple. I wanted a full out-the-door price in writing before I showed up. This was critical. If it isn't in writing, it isn't real. Then, going line by line through their pricing saved me up to $5,000 immediately by removing add-ons I didn't want. So at one point, the dealership that we got this truck from started using negotiation tactics on me. And they told me that 3 other buyers were going to come on Saturday to look at this very truck. I didn't believe them, but this is what they said, and so I went with it. So I started researching other vehicles, and I found 2 others at a different dealership. So this is when things got wild. We found 2 trucks. One of them had only 324 miles on it. These were both black trucks at the same dealership. And I was really excited by it because it was a very low mile vehicle for 2024, 324 miles. It was almost like it was unheard of. But I called, and the salesman, Brian, was very transparent with me, and we had a really good talk, and we were going to come and get this truck on Sunday. However, he calls me back 90 minutes later and tells me that the truck was sold sight unseen from someone in Vegas who bought it on the phone. So we went to the second truck. No big deal. Now, this one had more miles. It had 13,300-ish miles on it. So I wasn't super excited about that, but this had a really good perk with it. They made it certified used. And if you're not familiar with that, this added 12 months of continued wraparound coverage and 12,000 miles. So basically negated that miles that were already on it. So I was in. I liked the truck. It was the same truck as the last one. It just had more miles, but I got a better deal with it, basically. So after negotiating a deal for this truck, we were going to get the truck for $71,500 out the door. Now, of course, this doesn't include any extras that we wanted, but this is their final out the door price of $71,500. Now, another tactic to use for us was that I can use this to try to get the other vehicle. The only problem is they had not called me back like they said they were going to. Over text messages, we spoke late at night on Saturday, and they said that they weren't there at work and they didn't know if the truck was there, and they would call me in the morning. So Sunday morning came, and we were on our way down to the dealership to go get the black truck. And you're never going to guess what happened. Halfway through the drive, we get a call back from Brian, and he tells me that vehicle also sold. A little bit defeated, I decided, you know what? They didn't call me at the original dealership where this truck was, so I'm going to call them. So we call them. I say, hey, what's going on? No one called me. What's the final verdict on this truck? Do you guys have it still? Did it sell yesterday? I haven't heard. Now, we both know that they still have the truck and they probably didn't show it to anybody. But I want them to say that the truck is there, and I want them to come forward and give me a better deal. Right now, the deal on the table is $76,500. I said, what can you do? The other dealership I'm about to drive to right now has a truck for me that's black, that's $71,500 out the door with a little bit more miles than this truck currently has. The guy who I talked to was a different manager, and he said, let me call you back in 5 minutes after I get all your information down for taxes. Okay, no problem. He does. He calls me right back in 5 minutes, maybe even less. And he says, look, the bottom line is $74,600. My wife and I look at each other and smile because originally we only wanted this truck for $75,000. So now we got an extra money off of this truck, which we weren't even planning on. So we said, we're heading your way. Now, he didn't know that the other truck sold, but we used that truck to help us get this deal. And that's the way we went. But we weren't done yet. I originally planned to trade in my diesel truck as part of the negotiations to buy this truck. But when I got there, they did not follow through with what they told me over the phone. They originally were going to offer me $9,000 as a trade-in, and I was going to try to push for $10,000. But when we got there, they decided to lowball me and tell me it was only going to be $6,500. I was upset. I pulled the truck from the equation, and because they knew I was upset, this helped us leverage our warranty package later down the road. So if you watched our other video, you know that I wanted the extended warranty. It's just peace of mind for me. I can't work on these vehicles. Not that I would, because it has a warranty already, but I'm not comfortable with the electronics, and I know they're expensive. So having the extended wraparound warranty is, for me, again, just peace of mind. And so this is where they comped us a little bit because I was upset about the trade-in deal. And so they gave us, from a third party, they gave us a $3,300 wraparound warranty. Now this warranty is an 8-year, 100,000 mile warranty that's wraparound. Now what that means is that they don't do anything that's wearable. So no brake pads, no brake drums, no windshield wipers, no tires. So we got that for $3,300. However, this is the next point we have to make, which is super important. You need to go through all your documentation with a fine-tooth comb, especially your warranties. My wife saw that they didn't cover the powertrain with this warranty. We went through it over and over. I read it again and confirmed it did not cover the powertrain. These trucks don't have a whole lot, but the powertrain is probably the most important component other than the main battery, and they didn't cover it. After seeing this and explaining this to the sales guy, he decided to give us Chevy's actual warranty, which is actually worth a little bit more, around $5,500, but he gave it to us for the same price. So there was another $2,200 saved. So here's how the deal worked out. The MSRP of this vehicle was $97,000. Now out the door, that's $115,000. The sticker price was originally $65,600, but we got that marked down to $64,900, which made our out the door price $74,600 with a $3,300 warranty. All of this just under $80,000. In our next video, we're going to do our 1,000-mile review of our ownership of this truck. It's already time, and I can't wait to show you all the things that we've learned about this vehicle so far. If you enjoyed this video, please like, follow, and subscribe. And if you missed our last one, I'm going to put the link right there.